So if China Dragons are flying without Ken Inway, who's one of their better pilots, that's a problem. There's 3 orange drones coming, and they've all got to get to the front. We go live into our first big heat of the evening. And into the Breitling Gate flies one of the Swiss Black Kites. Neuenschwander is down, but as we saw, he's pretty good at recovering things, and he might get that back up in the air. Out in the lead over the water, no, it's purple. It's Swiss Black Kites. And through the SEAT gate they go. They head out of the water to complete lap number 1 with orange, purple and orange flying around behind them. And as they head towards the Breitling Gate, it is Mirko Cesena who's got Lee, Irie and Strahl in his vicinity. 2 seconds between the top 4 pilots. Irie might have missed the gate though. That's being flagged up as needing to review, but it'll be academic if Cesena stays where he is, because China Dragons need to make it all orange at the top of this race. Through the SEAT gate goes Cesena, and he'll head back out around the SEAT pylons and head towards lap number 3. As we see China Dragons on stage, we go on board with our leader, Mirko Cesena, towards the Breitling Gates. He'll swing through the Lax Gate and heads back around the big tree towards the castle. Does the final turn. Cesena's home. Swiss Black Kites are in the semi-finals. Raphael Strahl comes in with him. Carl Leung, Vince Irie, a better performance from him today. Darren Neuenschwander completes it. It only needed to stop the China Dragons to get it afterwards. It was a drone failure. So, has he got any more technical issues? Let's hope not for Gary Kent against Mirko Cesena. Cesena with a better start, 1400ths of a second between him and Kent, and a better turn through the Breitling Gate, but Kent has already passed him. And around the big tree they'll come. Castle turn here, Kent survives that one. McDonald's Gate, he's got an unusual route around that, which has let Cesena get a little bit closer to him, but by a little bit closer, I don't mean anywhere near enough. However, the SEAT pylon there, Cesena took that very quickly and very sharply. He's still a little way behind Kent, but it could have been worse. Lap number 2 looms. Kent has the lead as they come in. It's 28.31 seconds as he starts it. 1.5 seconds between him and Mirko Cesena. Kent comes around the castle turn. Cesena makes it now. It's still most of the 1.5 seconds. The gap still there, and there's not much time left to do this in now. Kent is over the water. Cesena sees him. Cesena chases him out through the SEAT gate, moves a little bit closer forward. They'll come to these last 2 gates here. They're over the banner. It's 7/10 of a second now. Cesena's halved the gap. He's right behind Kent as it comes to the final turn. He's got to make the finish. Incredible ending. Absolutely unbelievable work by Mirko Cesena at the death. 7/10 of a second with 2 gates to go. 1.5 seconds earlier on than that. Beaten to the punch. That man. A respectful little nod across the stage. Brilliant work by Cesena to get the point, but Lucas Baumann is moving, which means a yellow card in his hand is going somewhere. It's going to be to Gary Kent.
Huh?
It can't be to Luke.
It can't be to Luke, right?
Unless Luke's drone accident to get you disqualified. That'd be a disaster for Next Blades. What's the yellow for, Lucas Baumann?
Yellow card for Luke Bannister, Next Blades, for this. Sorry, yellow card for Luke Bannister for unsafe behavior in the pit lane.
But other than that, when they've raced before and when they met in a semi-final in Rapperswil before on this very circuit, Next Blades Racing have always been the winners. So a grand final looks to be likely to them. But purple up front can stop everything in its tracks. And it is purple up front in first and second, but they need 3. Let's get our course underway, though, and take this one bit at a time with Mirko Cesena, who's in the lead. And the Next Blades drones are starting to steal places back from the Swiss. Great turn through the SEAT gate has seen Cesena get passed by both of Collis and Trowbridge. Amazing work from them, and 1 lap in after having been behind. They passed it. A bit of a tree has been a little bit clipped and trimmed there. Collis looked like he took the lead and is out of this. Cesena has passed him and managed to keep it ahead of Trowbridge as well. Now, though, Cesena has Bannister and Kent not too far behind him. Neuenschwander and Isler are still in this, but they've been flagged up as maybe having gone on the wrong flight and having missed the gate. We keep alive with Bannister fighting things out with Cesena at the top. It's very close between them, but Cesena is in the tree. Cesena's in the big tree. That's a place I don't think we've had anyone crash ever when we've raced in Rapperswil. So Bannister brings it home, as he's done so many times.
An hour, absolutely amazing. But what I was impressed by in the single heats, that was, for me, that was the highlight of this entire race. Even though they did not make it, was what Cesena did in his single heat to Gary Kent. Let's have a word with him.
Swiss Black Kites on our stage. It would be a shame not to torture you in front of this crowd who've given you so much support. It is Next Blades Racing who've made it through to our grand final. But Mirko, some really exciting action throughout that heat.
Thank you very much. Yes, I really pushed as much as I could because Next Blade is a really good team, of course. And Gary Kent was pushing a lot. I saw him far away and I tried to give my best in order to catch him. Like full throttle all the time. And in the end, I did it.
You were in the lead for some of it, then Next Blades were looming behind you. Of course, you wouldn't have seen that because obviously FPV can only face forward. But the guys were all fighting that thing out. You were leading the charge so near to that grand final.
Yeah, I was so close to the end. I was first place till the end, but I just took the 3 because I wanted to take the last part super narrow in order to get inside the gate. But unluckily, I took the 3 and unlucky, just unlucky. But it was really a nice race.
It's been an interesting season. It's been a lot of action that we've had from you guys. Is there anything you want to say to this amazing crowd who have been giving the Swiss team so much support?
Yeah, thank you very much for all the support and see you in the next one, guys.
Swiss Black Kites leave us here. Next Blades are a big step closer to the World Championship.
Yeah, the nicest guys around, I would say. Swiss Black Kites. Let's take another look at the entire heat there we had with Cesena and Kent that we just spoke about. It was a super, super tight race. As we see in the purple, Cesena, both having interesting lines there through the McDonald's gate, over the water. And this is where we see there's quite a big of a gap between them. And Cesena decided, and over the course of the second lap, he really decided to push forward, making their way through the McDonald's gate, and this is where we see him really catching up with Gary Kent. They're closer and closer and closer. Now they're literally glued to each other, but this last corner, the very last corner, that's where we can see Cesena overtake him here. Beautifully done. Amazing, amazing last corner there by